I love Ed Sheeran. He's got a great voice. And he's good at guitar. A real talent. I'm going to be looking at one of Ed Sheeran's speeches, and I'm going to react to his public speaking abilities. Now, there was literally one thing I found on YouTube, one speech. It's called Ed Sheeran Speaks at the 2015 American Institute for Stuttering Gala. So I'm assuming he probably has a stutter, or he had a stutter, which is why he's at this gala. I'm looking forward to seeing him do his thing. So here we go.
I was a very, very, very weird child. Very weird child. And I had a port wine stained birthmark on my face that I got lasered off when I was very young, and one day they forgot to put the anaesthetic on, and then ever since then I had a stutter. And I also had very, very big blue NHS glasses. NHS is the National Health Service. One day I hope you'll have the same. Just saying.
So right away he's getting real with his audience. Right away he's letting them in. Right away he's getting vulnerable. He's talking about how he had a birthmark on his face when he was a child. He talked about how he had these massive thick glasses. You know, he's sort of bringing up his sort of childhood insecurities or his childhood issues, so to speak. And that is a great way to just right away build a connection with your audience. Just get real with them. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. And that's it. So, and he's just got a charm about him. You know, he's got this sort of charming smile. And I think he's just, he seems like just so far a really likable guy.
Stuttering was actually the least of my problems when I went to school, but it was still quite a difficult thing. And the thing that I found most difficult about it was knowing what to say, but not really being able to express it in the right way. So I did different speech therapies and stuff, which wasn't very successful. I had homeopathy, which is like herbs and shit where you're drinking a drink and it's all right.
If you've watched my videos, you've heard me say this before, but he's speaking really naturally. It almost seems like this is how he would speak to his buddies, you know, and that's a good thing. Like, that's a good thing. He has no notes from what I can see. He's speaking from the heart. He's speaking in plain language. And he's just speaking in a really natural, easy to digest, relatable way, just with his tone, with his language. So I'm really impressed so far.
So my dad bought me the Marshall Mathers LP when I was 9 years old, not knowing what was on it, and let me listen to it. And I learned every word of it back to front by the age I was 10. And he raps very fast and very melodically and very percussively, and it helped me get rid of the stutter. And then from there, I just kind of carried on, did some music, and now I'm here. But stuttering is not a thing you have to be worried about at all. And even if you have quirks and weirdness, you shouldn't be worried about that. I think the people that I went to school with were the most normal and were the coolest when we grew up. Like I was telling
this little bit in these past 10, 15 seconds, he's been looking around at the audience a lot. It looks like he's starting to make a lot more eye contact with the audience in a consistent way, which is great. You know, you want to connect with your audience. You want to be open to your audience. You want to show your audience that you care about them. One way to do that is to make eye contact with different parts, different sections of your audience. And he seems to be doing a really good job at that as the speech picks up. I also see him gesturing a little more as the speech picks up too. So it seems like he's getting a little more comfortable in his body as the speech goes on.
Stress to kids in general is to just be yourself, because there's no one in the world that can be a better you than you. And if you try to be the cool kid from class, you'll end up being very boring and doing plumbing for someone that you don't really want to do plumbing for. Yeah, it's just be yourself, embrace your quirks. Being weird is a wonderful thing. And it has led for so many creative people, and not even just creative people. Like you own a fucking football team now. That's pretty cool.
Like I said, I think he's speaking naturally. I think he's being himself. I think at this point in the speech, it almost seems like he's gotten a little more reserved. Like the volume of his voice is almost lowered a little. And at this point, he's doing a fine job. But I think someone who might have that next level of public speaking ability would project a little more and speak with a little bit more passion. Like he's delivering an important message right now. And maybe this is just the way he communicates in more of sort of a laid back way. But to me, I think it could get to a next level if he just sort of put a little more passion into it.
But I think, just, I'm not very good at speeches. I don't do a lot of speeches, but I think the one thing I want to say is be yourself, embrace your quirks, embrace your weirdness, and from a stuttering point of view,
like, look at your audience when you say that.
Embrace your weirdness, and from a
embrace your weirdness. Like, I think a more experienced public speaker, when they're making an important point, they're going to look at their audience and deliver that message with connecting with their audience in mind. And like I said, I think he's doing a fine job. I think he's doing a good job. That's just my interpretation of bringing it to the next level. That's all.
Don't treat it as an issue. Work through it and get the treatment that you want to get, but don't ever treat it as an issue, and don't see it as a blight on your life, and carry on pushing forward. And I did all right. You can do all right as well. Emily did all right. Nice one. Thank you.
Yeah, it's funny. He seems a little shy. He seems a little shy for a guy who, is so used to performing and so used to being on stage. I mean, I did a video on Justin Bieber, who was just super comfortable public speaking and being on stage, and he's more of a showman. Ed Sheeran's more chill. I think he's a little more humble. He's more shy. But I was impressed. Like I said, he displayed a good amount of vulnerability. Yeah, he said and throughout the speech a few times and sort of stuttered a little, but I didn't think that really took away from the speech. I don't see that as a real issue. I think that more just contributed to his authenticity as a speaker. And overall, I thought he did a good job. There were some higher points, there were some kind of whatever points. I think he could have had some more energy and enthusiasm at points, but overall, Ed Sheeran, you did a good job, and I think you're a good speaker. And I like your music. Thanks for tuning in. If you liked the video, please drop a like. Please subscribe to my channel. And please comment. If you would like me to review someone else, let me know. I'm out. Peace.